Wait? Why, that's my favorite word, said no one, ever. We don't like to wait. We live in a society where we've become accustomed to getting what we want, when we want it. And when we want it is now. Well, welcome back to Mornings with Bishop Robert. Glad you decided to drop in. My goal is to introduce people to the Jesus they never knew and help them get to know him and his word personally and better. So if our time together today speaks to your heart, let me invite you to like, subscribe, and share with a friend. Well, waiting often feels like wasting time. I mean, we wait, and we wait, and we wait some more, and it seems like nothing's happening. But today's verse says, wait for the Lord and be strong. Let your heart take courage. Waiting for the Lord is not a waste of time, because there are always things we can be doing while we wait for a specific answer to prayer or breakthrough. I believe that's part of the reason that the second part of the verse says, be strong. You don't become strong by sitting on your hind parts and doing nothing. You become strong by exercise. You become skilled by practice. Being strong requires focused discipline and active determination. You need to do something while you're waiting to reach your destination. Michael Jordan is arguably one of the best players the NBA has ever seen. When he was asked about the secret to his success, he gave a pretty insightful reply. He said, I've missed more than 9,000 shots in my career. I've lost almost 300 games. 26 times I've been trusted to take the game-winning shot and missed. I have failed over and over again in my life. And that's why I succeed. Now, of course, the real key is not the failures themselves, but the pressing forward in spite of the failures. Practice, repetition, skill development, knowledge acquisition, all these things and many more play a role in you becoming properly prepared and the person God intends to use for his glory. See, Jordan continued to practice. He developed skills and techniques. Michael Jordan did what it took to maximize the talent within and to hone it into an incredible skill set. People who are determined to follow Jesus have a calling, a vision of what Christ has in store for them. But when that calling begins to dawn on our heart and minds, we can begin to step out in faith. And as we do, God will lead us and direct us. He'll see that we end up where he intends us to be. We see the vision, so we keep focused on it. Step by step, we get closer to becoming what he created us to be. What we behold is what we become as we walk with him in faith. And that's how we wait for the Lord and be strong and let our heart take courage. We need to keep on pursuing the vision even when all seems lost. Because if it's God's vision, then he will bring it to pass. If it's not, then he can course correct you and redirect your path. Because God's greater than our mistakes. But faith is taking what God has given you. And when the day seems darkest and there appears to be no path forward, you'll find that his strength is perfected in your weakness. You never enter a new season of life from a position of strength, but only of weakness. The key to victory in these times is keeping your eyes on Christ and continuing to do what you can do to keep walking towards the goal Christ has set before you. You and I, we must keep our eyes on Christ, because there'll be diversion from the enemy to distract us and tempt us. There'll be mountains and valleys along the way. These are all to be overcome by our determination to follow Jesus where he leads and to press on in faith and take hold of that for which Christ Jesus took hold of us. When life presents you with mountains that seem to be insurmountable, you have a choice. You can either moan to God about how big your mountains are, or you can shout at the mountains and tell them how big your God is. Unbelief puts circumstances between us and God, but faith puts God between us and our circumstances. See, waiting is really just a time of preparation, a time for us to overcome the world using specific gifts and the calling Christ has for us. Because everyone who's been born of God overcomes the world. And this is the victory that's overcome the world: our faith. So let's seek God to determine what he's called us to do and who he's called us to be. Then wait on him. Sharpen your skills. Develop your gifts and your talents. Grow stronger. Face the mountains with courage and the valleys with determination. You know, my greatest fear is not that I might fail, but rather that I might succeed at something that doesn't really matter. Wait for the Lord. Be strong. Let your heart take courage. As we wrap up, can I ask you to help me introduce people to the Jesus they never knew and help them get to know him and his word personally and better? Please like this video. It'll help more people see it. And then click follow or subscribe so you and I can get together every day. And I'd love to meet you in the comments section and hear about how our time together today encouraged you to take what God has given you. It's also a great place to leave a question if you got one. And one more thing. Share it with a friend, would you please? Because as you do, you're part of the team touching hearts all over the world with the love of Jesus. Thanks for helping.